This is the newsroom for today, Thursday, February 4, 2021. We're broadcasting to you on E1 Star TV, NTN, and Tarzi TV in Wartika. In the headlines, Guyana terminates an agreement with Taiwan to set up an investment office here hours after it was announced. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, says Venezuela has been told in clear terms not to interfere with its fishermen.
We're looking forward to Venezuela acting responsibly and not interfering with fishermen or anyone who's conducting business within our EEZ.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, says he will not be intimidated by front and backyard bullies. In tonight's feature, we highlight a small business that is making a big impact. And in sport, Hetmeyer vows to bring leadership experience through Guyana Jaguars in Super 50, and Brathwaite calls for West Indies batsmen to stand up and fight against Bangladesh. With the news, I'm Avinash Ramzan. Thanks for joining us. We started by telling you that Guyana's foreign policy took center stage on Thursday as diplomats and political commentators questioned the motive behind the decision to allow Taiwan to set up an office here. But hours after the United States announced the agreement, the Guyana government released a statement recommitting to the One China policy and announced the termination of the agreement with Taiwan. Kurt Campbell joins us now.
Less than a day after Taiwan announced the establishment of an investment office in Guyana, leading to questions over Guyana's adherence to the One China policy, the Guyana government announced that it has terminated the agreement. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation on Thursday noted that the decision to terminate the agreement was as a consequence of miscommunication. The government clarified that it has not established any diplomatic ties or relations with Taiwan, and as a result of miscommunication, the agreement has been terminated. The government also reiterated that it continues to adhere to the One China policy and its diplomatic relations remain intact with the People's Republic of China. It was the United States Embassy in Georgetown that announced the establishment of a Taiwan office here and welcomed the move. Washington has long expressed growing concerns about China's deepening influence in the Caribbean and Latin America. While there had been no formal announcement by the Foreign Ministry in Georgetown, Taiwan said it signed the agreement on January 11, 2021 and started operations on January 15, 2021. Following the announcement of the Taiwan office, the newsroom had contacted Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation UTUD on Wednesday night, who confirmed that the Taiwan office will be merely to facilitate trade and investment between the two private sectors of Guyana and China and does not represent the start of diplomatic relations with Taiwan. Guyana has historically supported China and the One China policy, which does not recognize Taiwan as an independent state. The Taiwanese Foreign Ministry had tweeted that the facility in Georgetown represents the commitment of both sides to promoting a partnership of prosperity based on democratic values across areas like agriculture, education, investment, and trade. Taiwan has formal diplomatic relations with 14 countries. Its Caribbean allies are Haiti, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and St. Lucia.
Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, says Venezuela has been told in clear terms that it has no authority to detain fishing crews and vessels working in Guyana's exclusive economic zone. After 2 weeks of illegally detaining a 12-member Guyana fishing crew and 2 of their vessels, Venezuela finally released the men on Tuesday and ceased all legal proceedings. Isnella Patwa reports.
The decision to release the Guyanese fishing vessels and its crew was made by Venezuelan President NICOLÁS Maduro on Tuesday. President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, at the sidelines of an event on Wednesday, said that Venezuela has been told to not continue down this line and detain fishing vessels and crews or anyone working in Guyana's exclusive economic zone.
Any assurances that this will not recur?
Well, in the statement, we made reference to this, that we're looking forward to Venezuela acting responsibly and not continue along this line in interfering with fishermen or anyone who's conducting business within our EEZ.
Have you gotten that assurance, though, that they will not?
Well, we have not asked. In my statement, we have made it very clear that we're not asking for these assurances. This is our right. Our EEZ is our right, and we will continue to facilitate the economic activity in our EEZ.
President Ali expressed thanks to international and regional partners who played a role in facilitating the safe release of the vessels and crew.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all our international partners, CARICOM heads of government, and all our other international partners for adding their voices in a very strong manner on this very important issue.
While the release of the vessels and crew will help to mend issues with the two countries, President Ali firmly stated that the Ghana-Venezuela border controversy is not up for discussion. The case is currently before the International Court of Justice. The court last December ruled that it has jurisdiction to hear the case. Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd, in a statement, noted that all legal proceedings against the crew have been discontinued. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Isanella Patwo.
We tell you now that a 41-year-old taxi driver is in a stable condition at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, nursing 3 gunshot wounds which he sustained during a robbery at Kwamina Road, Bedford-for-Wacting, on the east coast of Demerara. Police headquarters in a statement noted that Rolvin Maynard, called Rollo of Melanie, was on Wednesday relieved of his blue cellular phone valued $8,000 by a lone gunman at around 16 hours. Maynard, in the company of his daughter, was dropping off a customer at Bedford-for-Wacting when he was stopped by the suspect. The suspect entered the car and requested to be taken to the railway embankment. It was along the journey that the suspect whipped out a handgun and told the victim to stop the vehicle, hand over his money and exit the car. According to the police report, the victim then held on to the gun and the suspect shot him in the right upper thigh. The suspect at that time took away the victim's cellular phone and again demanded that he exit the car. The victim once again held onto the suspect's gun, which ended in him getting shot 2 more times, once to his left upper arm and once to his left wrist. The suspect then escaped. The suspect has not yet been arrested as investigations continue. Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, says he will not be intimidated by front and backyard bullies, and a spanking new $5 million mall is slated for Leonora on the west coast of Demerara. Those and more when the newsroom returns. This is the newsroom. Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, on Thursday had cause to upbraid opposition members of parliament, including the opposition leader Joseph Harmon, over breaches of parliamentary customs. The speaker warned that should the members not correct their actions, then there will be consequences. Kurt Campbell reports.
I say, I am neither anyone's little boy, nor am I intimidated by front yard or backyard bullies.
That was Speaker of the National Assembly, Mansour Nadir, as he upbraided parliamentarians who continue to breach the parliamentary customs and practices with their public criticisms of him. Nadir called out opposition leader Joseph Harmon and opposition member of parliament Sherrod Duncan. This is not the first time that Duncan and Harmon have been cautioned by the Speaker over their public statements. Nadir threatened that should it continue, he will have to refer members to the Parliamentary Committee of Privileges for disciplinary action. Addressing the public criticism of his actions in the House, the Speaker said his conduct cannot be criticized except by way of a motion. He singled out Duncan in the first instance, referencing one of his Facebook posts.
The Honourable Member Sherrod Duncan, after the last sitting, leveled labels at the Speaker which included words such as bias, partisan, and non-partisan Speaker. In one of the Honourable Member's social media posts, backed up with lampoons, he writes, and I quote, "Mr. Speaker started out nice, like them new cook shop." And I want to caution members that I'm hearing that when the Speaker is making an announcement, we ought to give the chair the reverence of silence. You don't have to listen, but don't disturb. And then the price raise and the standard fall. I thought after the second bout of COVID, he'd stay closer to God, but the devil's got to him, bias, partisan, you name it.
The Speaker said he regarded the post as a direct charge of bias against him, which he also seeks to impugn his character. These criticisms were linked to the Speaker's action at the last sitting during the debate on the marijuana bill and the refusal to entertain a motion to debate the murder of the Henry boys, Joel and Isaiah Henry. The Speaker said the criticism against him continued when Harmon appeared on a televised show along with Duncan. He noted that Harmon admitted during that program that he was warned about his public criticisms of the Speaker previously, but notwithstanding, he proceeded to heap criticism on the Speaker.
the Leader of the Opposition and the Honorable Duncan were criticizing the Speaker's decision on the narcotics bill and on the murdered Henrys and Singh motion. Here is a sample of the commentaries of these two honorable members. With respect to a mistake made by the Speaker saying the ayes have it on the narcotics bill, which the Speaker immediately corrected, the Honorable Member Duncan imputed that the Speaker reversed his decision after he was prevailed upon or coaxed by the government.
Nadir said he regarded Harman's statement as imputing improper motive. During last Thursday's sitting of the National Assembly, the Speaker had warned MPs about their Facebook posts and public statements on the business of the House. Kurt Campbell, Newsroom.
A sod-turning ceremony was held on Wednesday at Leonora on the west coast of Demerara to mark the start of construction for the first of its kind shopping and entertainment complex in Region 3, Essequibo Islands, West Demerara. The West Central Mall is a $5 million investment and is set to be completed in 2 years. Delivering the feature remarks was President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, who assured the developer, Hemraj Albert, of the government's support. Isnella Patwa tells us more.
The West Central Mall, a state-of-the-art facility, will include a business and conference center, fine dining restaurant and bar, a supermarket and shopping center, movie theaters, food court, and an arcade, along with secure parking in a family-oriented environment. Upon completion, the mall is expected to generate 325 direct and indirect jobs. The developer, Hemraj Albert, has been a businessman for 38 years, and upon acquiring the land, he pondered on ideas on how he can contribute to business development in the region. And so the idea of the West Central Mall was birthed. Some $5 million will be invested to construct the mall in 2 years.
This mall was one of my visions for some time. Now, and I am very happy that today is the commencement of this project. The hard work and dedication to my business over the past 38 years has led me in achieving this vision, West Central Mall. I am looking forward for the support from the region and government agencies, and most important, the residents of Region 3. I'm sure that this mall will bring some comfort and joy to the consumers as we are going to ensure the highest quality of service.
Delivering the feature address was President Dr. Irfan Ali, who said the region is set for massive development and expansion in the housing and business sector. As such, projects like the West Central Mall are critical and essential.
We have an amazing journey ahead in this region. We have a transformative journey ahead. And I'm confident your investment will bear fruit. But I want to encourage the rest of the private sector to seek out the opportunities, to be aggressive, to come together. Maybe you don't have the firepower as individual family businesses, but the time has come for us to look beyond our traditional view of businesses in this country, individual owned and family owned, and to see how we can form consortiums and collectives that goes after the larger scale type of opportunities.
The government will also be facilitating the transformation of infrastructure in the region, which will support the expansion of agriculture and industrial estates. Meanwhile, President of the Region 3 Chamber of Commerce, Halim Khan, lauded the project, noting that it marks an important milestone in the history of the region. Also present at the ceremony was Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Office for Investment, Peter Ramsarup, who noted that the investment is huge for the region and by extension the country. Ramsarup also highlighted that prior to its completion, the design and construction stage will create a number of employment opportunities. Reporting for the Newsroom, I am Isabella Patwo.
Under the African Union CARICOM vaccine agreement, Guyana is expected to receive an additional 149,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccines, the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, told the National Assembly on Thursday. Already, Guyana has secured a donation of 22,000 doses of the Sinopharm vaccine from China and another 104,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine through the COVAX facility. Dr. Anthony, who was at time responding to questions from the former Public Health Minister, Dr. Karen Cummings, said Guyana's doses are part of the 1.5 million doses promised to the Caribbean through an agreement with the African Union. Dr. Anthony did not say which one of the authorized vaccines Guyana will receive through the African Union CARICOM agreement.
We are in a number of bilateral talks with various countries, including not only China, but Russia, India, to ensure that we can have more than that 20% for this year. And we are also talking to a number of multilateral agencies through which we think we would be able to acquire vaccine. One such multilateral agency is CARICOM has broken an arrangement with the African Union, and they have set aside 1.5 million doses of vaccines for the Caribbean. And out of that allotment, Guyana's quota is going to be 149,000 doses. And so we are working with that platform to ensure that we will also get doses from that mechanism.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health on Thursday recorded the country's 179th COVID-19 death. The latest fatality is a 73-year-old man from Region 1, Barima Waini, who died while receiving medical care at a facility. He is the second person to have died for February. The ministry earlier on Thursday reported another fatality, a 54-year-old man from Region 4, Demrar Mahaika, who also died on Wednesday while receiving care at a medical facility. So ahead on the newsroom, we feature a small business that is making a big impact, and the Minister of Education, Priya Manikchand, sounds warning to building contractors. This is the newsroom. The Minister of Education, Priya Manikchand, has sounded a warning to contractors who are executing works for the Ministry of Education to finish them within the agreed contractual timeline or face the possibility of contract termination. Sheena Henry reports.
The Education Minister made the pronouncement Wednesday during a visit to the University of Guyana Turkine campus, where she conducted site visits for 3 projects that are currently being done.
You are supposed to finish this in December 2019. Well, you started then, it was a 9-month project. Yeah. So that should have been September. And we're now in February of 2021.
Expressing her dissatisfaction at the non-completion of the 3 projects, the Education Minister told the representatives of the respective contracting companies that this will not be tolerated.
Just cannot get off the ground, can't be done, is not finished, cannot be used, is essentially at a standstill. That's $500 million almost, and that's unacceptable.
Further, she said the argument cannot be advanced that the projects were not completed on time because of financial constraints, since all 3 contractors received advanced payments.
All of these contractors received advance payments. And Ron can tell you how much the advance payments are. So I just want to make this very clear. These are all contracts I've met at this ministry. For me, though, it's the state's money that's being spent. So whether or not we needed a bursary is not going to be inquired into now. That was determined already, and the people of this country have put the money, or we're spending the people's money to build a bursary, so it has to be built.
Minister Manikchand said that going forward, the UG Project Implementation Unit and the Ministry of Education, Department of Engineering, will provide support and guidance to contractors to ensure that the new timelines for completion of the 3 projects agreed to are met. Reporting for the newsroom, Sheena Henry.
And as part of World Cancer Day observance on February 4, Sheena Henry reached out to head of the Guyana Cancer Foundation, Bibi Hassan, to get an idea of the efforts being made locally to tackle the deadly disease. Here's what she found out.
With focus on those battling cancer, the Guyana Cancer Foundation has been celebrating those who won their fight and remembering those who were defeated. President of the Guyana Cancer Foundation, Bibi Hassan, explained that the observance is very important. She encouraged persons to get screened.
The process it's a long journey, but there is, once you're positive, you can live a healthy lifestyle and take your treatment.
Hassan's mother, now 78, was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer when she was 64. She underwent surgery, resulting in her left breast being removed. The objective of the foundation is to provide assistance to low-income, underinsured persons affected by cancer to reintegrate cancer survivors into society. Founded by the Union for International Cancer Control in 2000 to raise awareness and prevent the spread, World Cancer Day is annually observed on February 4th. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony in his message noted that in Guyana, cancer remains one of the most common causes of premature death and a significant challenge in our healthcare system, affecting men, women, and children. Sadly, this illness remains a taboo topic among Guyanese, with many persons having a sense of fear, shame, and hopelessness at the mere mention of the word cancer, yet alone a diagnosis. Reporting for the Newsroom, Sheena Henry.
And despite coming from a family line of service in the food and hospitality industry, Randy Hawker started to barbecue chicken just to appease, but in 12 years it has grown to be a worthy stop to satisfy taste buds on Waterloo Street in Georgetown. Akeem Green was there and he filed this report.
Hi Guyanese, my name is Randy Hawker. I've started in this barbecue business about 10 to 12 years now. It actually just started with me doing barbecue for my father's bar, and it went from one strength to the other.
Hawker started outside of the Watercress Hotel at Waterloo on Quamina Street, Georgetown, with just one grill and a tent, catering for a few persons who relaxed at the hotel. He has now moved further south and now operates out of a customized mobile outlet with 6 staff members who cater for over 100 persons when in operation.
First, I started doing this as just like a little gig, and it grew from strength to strength. We started getting more and more customers, and the feedback we were getting is that people wanted us to come out every day, and it was basically the customers just keep driving me. This wasn't my intention to open a grill at first, but the customers was one of the most they were the persons that actually inspired me to keep doing this business and keep expanding it, because there are limited places where you can have proper grilled food in the country, and we actually stood out as one of the best for a very long time. People were telling me you got a special touch with your hands, so you should continue expanding, and so I started adding. I just used to do barbecue chicken, dinner roll, macaroni salad to start off. And then eventually we start adding things to the menu, piece by piece by piece by piece. We start adding days to the menus, days to to our schedule.
The allure which keeps persons hooked on the food lies within the preparation.
It's the seasoning, no shortage of seasoning. And we have one person doing seasoning it all the time for that consistent taste all the time. Understand? So there's not 2, 3, 4, 5 persons doing the seasoning all the time. One person does it all the time, one set of ingredients, and no shortage of seasoning. So that's one of the main things that you can get a proper flavor all the time.
His advice to anyone looking to start small businesses and grow big is to maintain discipline.
The main thing is discipline, discipline and dedication, hard work. And once you have those morals, anything is possible,
Hawker's Burger Shack and Grill operates Wednesday to Saturday from noon until curfew currently. The long-term plan is to own an establishment where he can further expand his menu. For the Newsroom, Akeem Green.
When the Newsroom returns, the financial, weather and bridge reports along with sports. Welcome back to Newsroom. Now for a look at what's happening in sport. We're starting off with some cricket news. Shimron Helpmeyer was named vice captain for the Guyana Jaguars for this month's CG Insurance Super 50 Cup in Antigua. It is the first time he has been afforded that role in a senior regional team since his success at the Youth World Cup in 2016. According to the left-hander, he will bring the experience gained from current West Indies captains. Akeem Green reports.
Since the historic Under-19 World Cup triumph, the calls have been numerous for further grooming of Hetmeyer as the potential West Indies captain. While his Jaguars vice-captaincy role is not a foregone addition for leadership, it is expected to test his maturity with regards to added responsibility in a tournament which is expected to be highly competitive. To succeed, the 24-year-old plans on using the knowledge acquired from his international white ball captain, Kieron Pollard, and test captain, Jason Holder, to aid in the fancied success of the Jaguars.
Something that I have to get used to again. But as it is, I'm really trying as much as possible to take in as much as I can, because being around Jason and Polly for a little while, learning some new things and so on, it always helps. So I'll just try to take in a little bit that I know and try to help the guys as much as I possibly can.
This will be Hetmeyer's first List A match for the Jaguars since the Super 50 tournament in February 2018. He batted in 7 innings and scored 284 runs at an average of 47.33 and had a best of 103. There is a great hunger to get back to cricket since he returned from New Zealand tour in December, as he opted not to tour Bangladesh due to COVID-19 concerns.
It has been a while, yes, but as you said, yes, I'm very much looking forward to it, because I haven't been playing any cricket since I got here in New Zealand. I haven't been doing anything really, so I'm been doing some work on basically fitness as it is, and as I said, not getting the chance to really hit balls and stuff because of the weather in Guyana and so on. So I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to it.
With 5 one-day international centuries and Indian Premier League experience, the top-order batsman is seen as one of the most important pieces in Guyana's move to end a 16-year drought for a 5th-over title. He confidently expressed there is no burden of expectation or pressure and is up for competing against his West Indies teammates, first of which will be Jason Holder and his Barbados pride on Monday at the Coolidge Cricket Ground.
For me, no. I see it more as a challenge than anything else, because as I said, I haven't really been playing any cricket since in New Zealand. So it's more of as I said, it's more of a challenge for me, and I'm really looking forward to it, to being around the guys and so on, and just playing competitive cricket again. I'm excited for it because of the fact that I've been playing against Jason and the other guy, playing with them for a long time, and there's always this like bragging rights that we have against each other and so on. So it's more of us just going out there and enjoying ourselves, and to see who wins the bragging rights at the end of the day, I guess.
Like most of the franchises, Jaguars ended the 2-day isolation on Wednesday and are now engaged in small group sessions. For the newsroom, Akim Green.
Now, Mehdi Hassan's maiden 100 lifted Bangladesh to 430 before West Indies reached stumps on 75 for 2 in reply after 2 days of the first test in Chittagong. Batting at number 8, all-rounder Mehdi scored 103, including 13 boundaries to help Bangladesh establish control on a slow pitch. He shared a 67-run stand with Shakib Al Hassan for the 7th wicket, 45 with Tajul Islam for the 8th wicket, and 67 with Naeem Hassan for the 9th wicket. His partnership with Shakib, who made 68, was the most important after Bangladesh resumed the day on 242 for 5, only to lose Litan Das early on for 38. Left-arm spinner Jamal Warrican was the most successful bowler for West Indies with 4 for 133, while Cornwall returned 2 for 114. Fast bowler Mustafizur Rahman, 2 for 18, then put West Indies in further trouble with 2 leg-before decisions against John Campbell for 3 in the 5th over and debutant Shane Mosley for 2 with a Yorker. West Indies rallied though with captain Craig Braffett on 49 at stumps and newcomer Nkrumah Bonner on 17 in an unbroken 51-run partnership. Now, the West Indies captain Craig Braffett says it is now key for the West Indies batsmen to put runs on the board to stay in the contest against Bangladesh. West Indies closed the day, the second day that should be, 355 runs behind Bangladesh's solid total of 430. Here's what Braffett had to say after the day's play.
Good day, Craig. After the first wicket today, what do you think prevented the bowlers from finishing up the Bangladesh innings a little bit earlier?
Well, I thought the Bangladesh, batsmen played well. Obviously, the pitch is a good one. So, the guys buckled down. Obviously, we had 1 or 2 chances that was quite tough. But, I thought they played well. But I think throughout the innings, we were very disciplined, so I'm very happy with that.
How detrimental do you think those missed chances were in the field?
Well, I mean, any chance, you would like to take. I still think, in the game, as I said, I think it's a very good pitch. So, it's just key for us to, put runs on the board.
Do you think maybe you need an extra spinner on this track?
Well, I won't say that. I thought, where he can and, Cornwall, in partnership bowl well together. Bonner, didn't get a lot of overs, but, he showed that, he could do a job as well. So I won't say that. I think the fast bowlers created a lot of pressure. Just, for us to keep grinding.
How is the wicket playing currently, and how do you foresee it playing over the next few days?
Well, I thought it played well today. Not much spin. Some balls they spin, but the bounce is quite true. It's not too low. So I think it will hold up for the next day and a half, and then possibly day 4 and 5. It may start to rise a little bit more. But I think it's a good pitch for batting still.
What will be the West Indies' aim for day 3 of this match?
Well, I mean, it's key to get runs on the board. Right now, we did well. 70 off for 2, and I just think we got build partnerships tomorrow, and I look to put a big first innings. It should be crucial. A big first innings total on the board.
What is the thought behind the sunshades while batting?
Well, the glare. I don't normally go nowhere without shades. I only bat without shades, so the glare really had me today. So I just decided, I would, get with that glare.
What are your thoughts on the Bangladesh bowling this afternoon, and in particular Mustafizur?
Well, I thought all the bowlers bowl well. They bowl to their field. The ball wasn't ragging as much, but they were disciplined. So we got hard work tomorrow to come and bat well.
Thanks, Craig.
Now, despite the health crisis which continues to plague the world, Cricket West Indies Vice President Dr. Kishore Shaloo felt it was still imperative that they play the sport in the safest possible manner. Akim Green reports.
West Indies Test team tour to England last July was the first by any international cricket team since the COVID-19 pandemic, and they have since ventured to 2 more, New Zealand and ongoing in Bangladesh, which is the most by any side. Apart from such, the Vinci Premier League was the first semi-professional tournament held in the pandemic, then the Caribbean Premier League.
CWI has really led the way with cricket since this COVID-19 pandemic started last March or so. This speaks tremendous volumes in terms of our commitment to cricket, as well as our competence and professionalism as a region. Being able to be the forefront to ensure that cricket is being played.
Dr. Shaloo said they could have opted not to keep any tournament or tour, but they have responsibility to play the sport.
In a pandemic like COVID-19, it's easy to have a cop out and say, well, it's difficult because of financial challenges and all the other issues. But again, we have an obligation to our stakeholders to ensure that cricket is played. And of course, our players, I'm sure, are quite happy to be playing.
He thanked the support of the Antigua and Barbuda government and the title sponsor, CG Insurance. The Vice President felt the partnership with ESPN, who will broadcast the matches, will be fruitful since the abundance of West Indies stars on show will offer a treat to the cricket star fans in the Caribbean and around the world. For the newsroom, Akim Green.
And with that, we've come to the end of the news for this evening. Of course, you can find updates on these and other stories on our website, Newsroom.gy, our Facebook page and Instagram. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Sabotage. Thanks for watching. Be safe. See you next time.